Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Beast. Peekaboo, I see you because I'm YouTube famous now. Available summer 2023. The album, the rock and roll edition. Dad, shimmy shimmy. AF, I wanna rock and roll all night and party every day. I went to a party last night. I didn't get laid. I got in a fight. Boom, 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 boom. Bam, 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 bam. Kiss me once. Come on, pretty baby. Kiss me deadly. Beast. Y'all got a little concert today. You got a little rock concert on this Sunday. How are you doing? You guys doing well? Well, listen, Linda. Let me put on a little bit of my lip gloss. When your lips are dry as mine, then it's Luna Beauty time. So, I slept in today. And I've been talking to people, sitting on the front porch. It's absolutely beautiful in Indianapolis today. It's about 55 degrees outside, which for Indianapolis in March, February, we're still in February. It's absolutely beautiful outside. I stayed up very late last night, catching up on Your Honor. I am like caught up on all of my TV shows right now. Your Honor, La Brea, Truth Be Told, Dear Edward. What else do I watch? I'm caught up on all of my shows right now. So anyway, and I'm saving RuPaul's Drag Race until my husband comes home because my husband is still in Spain. And he will be getting home on Tuesday. I've missed him like crazy. He is having the best time of his entire life. He and his mom are in Barcelona right now, and they're doing all these trips and tours, and they went to a winery today, and so they're just having a really, really good time. So anyway, he's been FaceTiming me a lot and sending me videos of everywhere they go, and I'm just so happy that he's having a good time. So while he's gone, Boo Radley and I are just sitting around here having a bachelor week, me and Boo Radley. So when you're having a bachelor week, and you take to the TikTok, and people start sending you Manny MUA coming for TikTokers on TikTok. It's like, how long has it been since I have made a Manny MUA video? 575,600 minutes, or something like that. I don't know what that song is, but anyway. 565,600 minutes. Beast. It's been a very long time since I have made a Manny MUA video, but I watched these two TikToks that he put out, and I thought, okay, I have to talk about this. I have talked for a while now in my videos about how I felt like, I've said this, I don't know, numerous times over the last 2 to 3 months, about how I felt like the pendulum of YouTube to TikTok has swung, and now it's going to swing back the other way. And what's interesting to me about this, okay, is that we're starting to see all of these OG beauty influencers like Jeffree Star, like Toddy Westbrook, and now like Manny MUA come out and talk about TikTok and kind of some of their issues that they have with TikTok, or they're wanting to be on TikTok. Tati just came out and said that she was thinking about, you know, doing TikTok videos. Jeffree Star has moved his entire review situation over to TikTok because he said there are no views on YouTube anymore, which is so interesting to me because there are so many people that are like begging him to come back to YouTube. Even in the comment sections of my videos, even in the comment sections of like Shane Dawson's video, there were people that said, please don't leave. I don't have TikTok. I don't go to TikTok. Please stay over on YouTube. But, you know, these people go where the views are. And I think that that's something important to talk about when we're talking about this TikTok versus YouTube kind of world that we live in now, specifically when we're talking about the beauty influencer community, right? Because, you know, when I started following beauty influencer stuff, I don't know, 6.5 years ago, it wasn't so rooted in money, sponsorships, and all this stuff as it is today. And then what happened was these 5 to 6, 7, you know, beauty influencers that were at the top started getting these brand trips. They started getting like really high-end sponsorships, and they were kind of at the top of their game, right? And so we saw them be able to have not just nice incomes, but like luxurious incomes and luxurious lives as a result of them sitting down and doing get-readies with me and reviews and things like that. And so they were kind of setting the precedence for what was going on at that time. What's interesting today is that now it is completely switched. It seems to me that, and I know that there's a lot of smaller creators, and the last time I talked about this, there were so many people that shouted out smaller creators in the comment section of my video. And so if you want to do that and you feel like there are really a lot of non-problematic beauty influencers that are just doing it for the love of makeup, please put their names in the comment section below so other people can find them. But I feel like what's happened over time, and even though they really probably don't want to own this, it started with these 5 to 7 beauty influencers, is they set the status quo for this whole love of makeup, this love of doing reviews, this love of doing get-readies with me. They switched it from it just being that and this passion to being a huge career where all they were doing was making money off of it, right? And so now what's happened is YouTubers aren't getting the views that they were getting anymore. They're not getting the sponsorships that they were getting anymore. In fact, Jaclyn Hill, in an Instagram story the other day, she just commented about some product that she, no, this was in her YouTube video that she did. She commented about a video or about a product that she wants to try, and she said she was going to order it, which was interesting because it was a product that Mikayla and Nogueira had been sent a lot of this brand's products. And so when you look at that and you think, here's Jaclyn Hill over here that is still doing YouTube, only when it, you know, benefits her. But she's not getting sent any of these products. And then you have Mikayla Nogueira that's being sent boxes and boxes and boxes and boxes of products, right? And so it's like TikTok is where it's at now. And I do believe that a lot of these YouTubers are bitter the house down about it, okay? I think they're bitter. I think they feel this sense of entitlement. They want to say that these TikTokers are entitled, which I don't disagree with. But they want to, you know, kind of insinuate that these TikTokers are entitled. Well, I also think that they have a sense of entitlement about them that, like, we started it, we did all the work, and we should be getting all the views and stuff like that. Well, I don't know what to tell you. Reinvent yourself, come up with something new, do something different, and you too might be getting the views. So that's kind of to preface all this. Manny came out with 2 TikToks back to back, talking about his issues that he has with beauty influencers on TikTok. So here, I'm going to play them for you, and then I have several points that I want to address so that we can kind of unbox it. Here you go.
Do you still trust TikTok beauty creators?
I don't, actually. But let me explain why. Bitch, I've been waiting to talk about this one. Let me preface this with saying that this does not apply to everyone, and I follow so many people that I truly do believe and trust, and there's creators I follow who I don't trust, and I just enjoy their content, but I don't trust what they say. Reason number 1, overly positive and overly dramatized reviews. If every single product you review is a 10 and it's life-changing and it's amazing and it's wonderful and it's gorgeous, side-eye. I feel like you're just trying to get the brand's attention so that they can buy your video to use as promotion. TikTok is one of the only apps that you can literally have a video up and a brand can approach you and be like, hey, can we turn this into an ad? You can go into your back settings and turn your video, your genuine video, into a full-blown ad. How do I know that? Because brands have approached me with it before. So because of that feature, whenever I see someone overly dramatic about a review and obsessed with every single thing that they review, I'm like, is that really what it is? Or are you just trying to get the brand's attention so they buy your video? And you're embellishing your review on the off chance that you can get a check. Baby, some people have done it. Oh, don't think they haven't done it, because they absolutely have. So you're telling me that you're selling out for the off chance that you might get a check? Nah. Reason number 2, sponsorship disclosures. I notice a ton of creators not disclose their paid partnerships, and I'm not talking a link, okay? I'm not talking a storefront. I'm not talking that. I'm talking like a full-blown sponsored video. So usually when a campaign goes out, you'll notice several creators get the same sponsorship from the same brand. Your page might be flooded by beauty creators promoting this one product because they're sponsored to do so, and they usually are disclosing partner or hashtag ad, whatever it might be. I've seen creators on here post a review at the exact same time as when the campaign's going out of the product with talking points, but no disclosures. You're just making it look like it's a review, but no disclosures at all. You just so happen to have the product early and saying these talking points in your review at the same time as everyone else posting their sponsorship of the exact same product. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I have one more reason, but I ran out of time. But that's just a few. Part 2 as to why I don't trust TikTok beauty creators. So as I said before, this does not apply to everyone. There's so many creators on here that I fuck with heavy, that I really do trust what they're saying. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, just watch the first part. It'll make a lot more sense. But the last reason, and probably the most like crucial for me as to why I don't trust TikTok beauty creators, I don't know them. And I don't mean that in a personal way, like I know them personally. I mean like I don't know anything about them. Think about it. Someone pops up on your FYP and they're reviewing a product and you know nothing about them, but you're supposed to trust the review that they're saying? Huh? The thoughts that go through my mind when I see that, I'm like, okay, cool. So are you a professional makeup artist? Have you freelanced before? Have you worked in cosmetic retail? Have you been reviewing for a long time? Like, what is it about you that makes me want to trust you? And 9 times out of 10 from that one little video on my FYP, I don't know any of that information. For me, I need time to trust people. TikTok is so relatively new that I haven't had enough time to build like these like trusting relationships with a ton of people. It'll come eventually, it just takes time. I also wanted to touch on the fact that in my first video, a lot of people commented like, oh, you did the same thing on YouTube back in the day. I'm so proud to say that I've always disclosed my partnerships and I've always disclosed my affiliations. I always let people know if I was even earning a commission of a product I was talking about that I really enjoyed. And like I said in my first video, like you can literally buy back a video that's already been posted on TikTok. You can't do that with YouTube. You can't just like buy it and share it to millions of people. Like brands can't do that on YouTube. I just want you guys to be smart consumers and really think before you spend. And this isn't some holier than thou situation either. Like this isn't like, trust me because you can't trust them. No, you guys don't have to trust me either. Like that's totally fine. These are just reasons as to why I personally am not as trusting as I have been in the past on different platforms. But yeah, that's it.
So that was what Manny had to say in his TikToks about all of this, right? And to me, even though he comes off very lighthearted and, you know, he's doing his makeup and all this kind of stuff while he's doing this TikTok, there's kind of a little bit of a bitterness to me when I hear him talk, you know? That is interesting, especially when you kind of like unbox it. And I sat and I watched the TikToks. I watched them several times actually, and I took some notes. And as I was taking the notes, and you're kind of like, sitting in the role of the observer and you're watching it and you kind of decipher a little bit of what Manny is saying, it's really interesting other than just watching this minute-long TikTok and kind of being like, oh, and being very reactionary to what he's saying. When you really break it down and you listen to what he's saying, you can see that there is a bitterness that is going on. And there's also, I believe, a conversation that is occurring behind the scenes, like with he and Laura, and he and probably other beauty influencers, where they are talking about TikTok and TikTokers and things like that, you know? And the fact that, you know, I often say on here that TikTokers, like they do very well in this short form content. It's kind of like Vine back in the day, but we don't see many of them able to translate short-term content or short-form content over to long-form content on YouTube. So for many TikTokers that are doing 30-second to 3-minute videos, it's really hard for them to then translate that to a 20-minute, a 15-minute video on YouTube, which is why I think that we see that most of them don't really have a lot of careers on YouTube. It's interesting to me, right? Because what'll happen is I will see these TikTokers that have millions and millions of followers, millions and millions of views, and then they'll have their YouTube linked, and you go over to their YouTube where even if they're putting their shorts over there, which is basically them just uploading their TikToks and things like that, you see that they don't have the following that they get on TikTok. People just aren't following them over there, right? And we saw that with Vine as well, you know, that there were only, I think, you know, maybe 5 to 10 Viners that actually were able to translate their career from Vine over to YouTube and be very successful. The rest of the people, they just weren't able to do it, you know? And I think it's like the ability to sit down. It's why I'm not, like, so many people have said, Peter, you need to go to TikTok. Peter, you need to go to TikTok. I'll be honest with you, TikTok's kind of intimidating to me. You know, I love to roll past the funny ones, and I would love to do TikToks and things like that. I've said that over here before. But, you know, it's like I can sit down in a video and talk for 20 to 30 minutes, like completely unedited, no problem, right? Like, I feel like I'm just having a conversation with you guys. But it's really hard for me to edit that down to 30 seconds to a minute. Like, I don't really know how to do that. You know what I mean? So that's difficult for me. And I think, like, if they owned it and they were honest, what they would say is, no, I can't translate it over there. But what they want is they want the YouTube, they want the Instagram, they want it all, right? Because they're building their brand. And this is kind of the joke of all of it to me, is we had these people that were beauty influencers on YouTube because they were passionate about makeup, which is why people fell in love with them to begin with, right? And then they started getting all these financial opportunities. And then it turned into a business. And then they turned their business into a brand, even if their brand was just them as a YouTuber or an influencer, right? And now it's like every TikToker in the world is talking about their platform, their brand, who they are. And it's like, y'all take yourselves way too seriously, first of all, okay? I've never referred to myself as my brand or any, I mean, listen, I'm Peter Monn. I'm a dude with a camera, okay? That's who I am all day long. I don't even like the word influencer, although I probably do influence people to buy a few grilled cheeses every once in a while, or maybe a fan or something like that. But like, I don't even, you know, think that I have that much pull. So it kind of like, when people are like, well, I'm an influencer and blah, 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 and all this kind of stuff, it kind of cracks me up. So let's go in and let's decipher these TikToks, okay? First of all, Manny goes in and he talks about these overly dramatic positive reviews that he sees on TikTok. And I have to agree, I've seen the same thing, right? And, you know, a lot of people are insinuating that he's kind of coming from Mikayla Nogueira, because Mikayla Nogueira does these, and he even uses some words that she says in her TikToks, like life-changing. He even says those words in the TikTok, right? And so a lot of people are insinuating that he's saying something about Mikayla Nogueira. But there are a lot of TikTokers out there that like every product they review, which is why I don't watch a lot of these people because they're boring to me. Every product they review is like the best mascara, the best eyeshadow, the best this, the best foundation, the best, you know, highlighter. It's so boring. It's like, and so then he goes in and he talks about how that there are a lot of brands that reach out to these people because they want to buy a clip of their TikTok or their entire TikTok and turn it into an ad, right? Which I've heard about this recently, but until probably about a month ago, I was completely unaware of this. I did not know that this happened, right? And Manny later goes in later and says that this is not something that you can do on YouTube. Like, you can't go into YouTube later, which this is true, and you can't make it like a paid advertisement or a paid sponsorship and go in after the fact and do that. So TikTok, you can do that, okay? Now, I don't know about Instagram, but on TikTok, you can do that. You can go in and you can turn it into a paid advertisement, you know? I mean, we saw Mikayla, that brand sponsorship or paid partnership thing that was flashing in the left-hand corner, I mean, it was off and on, off and on, off and on. I mean, she put it on there one day, took it off another day, put it on there one day. I mean, so we know that it can come and go as she pleases. And I guess that's apparent for a lot of people, right? So anyway, he was saying that a lot of these people are doing these overly dramatic, positive reviews because they want brands to reach out to them, and then they are hopeful that they will get paid large sums of money as a result of doing an ad for this brand. Which then, if you think about it, like, let's say if, I don't know, I'm just L'Oreal. Let's just say L'Oreal. If L'Oreal sees that Mikayla is doing this, you know, clip, and then they're like, can we buy this clip from you? And they do, and that clip does very, very well, they're going to want to offer her a brand sponsorship or a brand partnership down the road because she's made them so much money off of that clip that she did. So it's not just about getting paid for this one clip. It's also about building relationships with other brands, you know, which a lot of people would say that's not stupid, and I don't know that I necessarily think it is, right? But what you're talking about is your integrity. If every review you're doing is like, I just absolutely love this product, then your integrity sucks, because you can't love every product, right? So that was the next thing that he said. And then he comes out and in talking about this, he talks about not disclosing sponsorships, but he's not talking about affiliate links or storefronts. Now, when he comes out about this, and this is another thing that people think that he's talking about Mikayla Nogueira in because of the whole Lashgate situation and her not disclosing appropriately that it was a brand partnership with L'Oreal, okay? Which is a huge deal, and I know people want to say it's not a huge deal. It's a huge deal. She's breaking the law, okay? Other people are breaking the law. It's tons of TikTokers at this point, tons of Instagrammers that are literally breaking the law, okay? And, you know, I said this in my video that I did not too long ago, and I think I called it something like, why is this a big deal, or something like that. You know, and a lot of people are like, well, if the FTC is not going to do anything about it, why is it a big deal? Well, if somebody commits a crime, just anywhere in the world, whatever crime that might be, and they don't get caught for it, does that mean that it's not a big deal just because they didn't get caught for it? You know, no, it still means it's a very big deal. And it also speaks to that person's character and their integrity, right? Like, if you knew that this person had gone in and they had robbed a store, but they had never gotten caught doing that, but you knew that about them, are you telling them that you wouldn't question, are you telling me that you wouldn't question their integrity, or you wouldn't question their character as somebody that had gone in and robbed a store, even though they hadn't gotten caught? You absolutely would. Let's just be for real. You absolutely would question their integrity and their character, you know? And do I believe that robbing a store is on the same level of non-disclosing? No, I don't, okay? So listen, Linda, okay? I get it. It's not the same thing. But it's still breaking the law. They seem to not have an issue with it, right? And it's kind of, to me, like the old quote, you know, I can't... Anyway, it's like when you're wrangling the price, and it's like, you know, would you sell me this car for $100? And somebody's like, you know, like they say, like, oh, what would you sell me this car for? I don't know, like $1,000. You go, would you sell me for $1? And they're like, no. And it's like, well, you already told me that you would sell me the car, but now we're wrangling over the price kind of thing. It's like, you know, it's apples to oranges, but people don't want to look at it and see that it really is not so much just the fact that it is this illegal thing, which it is. It speaks to these people's character. It speaks to who they are. And yet we're continuing to put money in their pocket. Now, I have to tell you what cracked me up about him saying this was that he comes out and he goes, not affiliate links or storefronts. Okay? And I was like, okay, Manny. And the reason why that cracked me up is because, number one, his good Judy, Laura Lee, who I like, okay, I like Laura, but Laura is notorious, okay? She has taken a cue from Jaclyn Hill. She links things constantly on an affiliate link and does not disclose that it is an ad, okay? So, of course, he's going to come out and he's going to say, and Jaclyn Hill does it, and all this kind of stuff. But what's interesting to me is that for years now, drama channels, who apparently all of these OG beauty influencers don't like because we're hate channels, we're gossip channels, all this kind of stuff, right? But we've been calling out all of these people that don't disclose sponsorships on YouTube videos, like Jaclyn Hill, and they've never had an issue with it before. But now that it's TikTok, okay, now that it's taking money out of their pockets and they're not getting offered the same sponsorships that the TikTokers are getting, oh, now they have a problem with it, okay? Y'all didn't have a problem with it when we were calling it out years ago with YouTubers, but now you have a problem with it? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever, you know? And if you're going to call it out with TikTokers, then call it out with your own friends, too, you know? And it's not just Laura that does it. It's a lot of Manny's friends, okay, that are linking betting and other things. Because I've seen it. I got the screenshots. I could do a whole video about YouTubers that don't disclose on their Instagram stories or whatever, okay? I don't care if you're linking Amir from our house. If you aren't putting an ad on there and you've got a link to it and that link has your name in there and you're making some money off of that, you are not disclosing, okay? And that to me is the same thing as a sponsorship. It's all in the same area. Like, so for him to come out and say, we're not talking about affiliate ads and storefronts. Well, why aren't we talking about that? Why do you take issue with sponsorships, but you don't take issues with storefronts and affiliate ads? Is it like an Amazon storefront? Is it because your friends do that, and so you have to kind of excuse that away? Because you don't want to piss off your friends, obviously, right? But you don't have a problem pissing off these TikTokers that are getting large sums of money for sponsorships because you're not getting those sponsorships anymore. I mean, that's the only thing I can think, right? So then he goes on and he talks about non-disclosed reviews with talking points. And this is what he's talking about he's talking about how you will see at the same time that people are coming out and doing sponsorships. So when you do a sponsorship, they typically send you talking points, okay? Where they want you to say, I don't know, like there's maybe 10 or 20 talking points and you can pick out 5 of those, right? And so these are the things that they want you to talk about in a sponsorship. These are the things that they want people to know. Like, for example, with my Adam and Eve, just total transparency, like the things that they want people to know is that there's a 90-day hassle-free policy. They want people to know that if you use my code, that there are some exclusions that apply, okay? They want people to know that there's 24-hour customer service. They want people to know that 20% of the proceeds go to fight HIV and AIDS around the world. There's also like 10 more things that I could pick from, but those are the things that I use and when I talk about my Adam and Eve sponsorships, right? So there's talking points. Well, what he's talking about is that you see some people come out and they're doing sponsorships with products before these products are even released. So all of these people got the products. But then you also see people reviewing these products that are doing the same talking points, but they're not disclosing that it's an ad. So basically what he's saying is they did get paid for the sponsorship, but they're not showing that it's an ad. Girl, you know, here's where I'm at this point. Call these people out. Call these people out, because what you're talking about is, you're talking about untrustworthy people in the beauty influencer community. And I said this in a lot of my videos, that these are the people that are going to affect the beauty influencers down the road, right? Because we're going to start looking at all of you as a mass unit and saying none of you are trustworthy. And I'm starting to think that. I really am. You know, Manny in this TikTok, he said, I'm so thankful that I never did this and I always disclosed, whatever. I'm sure there is somebody out there that could go fact check that and see if that is absolutely true, because I don't know, right? I hope it is true. I hope it is true and that he is always disclosed. Because it takes 2 seconds to do it and put hashtag ad or disclose underneath your YouTube video the way that you're appropriately supposed to disclose. I just don't understand why it's that deep. But to come out in a TikTok and then allude to all of this and be real ambiguous and say, I mean, are y'all going to talk about it on a full coverage podcast? I mean, let's talk about it. Let's have the conversation. Let's talk about who these people are, you know? Why are we so afraid to call out these people? But if drama channels call these people out, we're the bad people, right? Okay, but hold on. The very last point that he says is that he just wants people to be smart consumers and be smart before they spend. That's what we have wanted as drama channels since we started. We give the information to the audience, to the consumer, so the consumer can say, I don't know if I should continue to support Mikayla. I don't know if I should continue to buy the products that she pushes, because I don't know if I trust her integrity or her character. I don't know if I should continue to buy this Get Ready With Me robe by, you know, Jaclyn Hill. I don't know if I should continue to put money in Jeffree Star's pocket if he does these things and acts this way. I don't know if those are things that I want to continue to support. And that's what we have been doing all along. That's why we talk about YouTubers, TikTokers, and influencers out there like Instagram people, couture models of the world that don't disclose, because we want you guys to know they're still making a lot of money off that. We want you guys to have the facts so that when you're spending your hard-earned money from working 2 jobs a day to put food on your table, that is giving these people a life beyond their wildest dreams, where they're buying incredible cars and traveling all over the world and just having unbelievable lives. You're the ones that are making it be that way, right? So we want you guys to know, because these people wouldn't be getting TikTok sponsorships. They wouldn't be getting YouTube sponsorships. They wouldn't be going on brand trips to, you know, Wyoming and Dubai and to the Super Bowl and things like that. They wouldn't be going on all these brand trips and getting all of these opportunities if it wasn't for you people watching them and you guys sitting out there and supporting them and buying these products. That's fact, period, end of story, right? And we have always existed to tell you guys the truth of what's going on behind the scenes. And yet we get such a bad rap, right? Okay, sing it to somebody else, you know? That's been our goal from day one, is to help the consumer out, you know? And it's interesting to me that he said that in here. He also goes on to say that his final point is that he can't trust them because he doesn't know them. And this was a very interesting point, because he's like, how can you know somebody off of one little TikTok on a, you know, For You page? You don't know them. You don't know if they're a trained makeup artist. How many of these... Seriously, how many of these beauty influencers on YouTube were trained makeup artists? Very, very few. Y'all worked at MAC counters and got lucky. Let's just be for real, okay? Let's call it out as what it is. And I don't have a problem with that, and people like your personality, and you have fantastic skills and talents. But let's not act like it's something more than it is, you know? And then he goes in and says, you know, do people work in retail? Do people work in this? Do people work in that? And all this kind of stuff, right? And he's like, I don't know you. I don't know anything about you. Well, what's the best way to get to know somebody? And talking about YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, what's the best way to get to know somebody? To watch a YouTube video, because they sit down and they talk for 20 to 30 minutes and they're talking about their lives and they're doing Q&As and they're doing all this kind of stuff, right? That is such a dig at TikTokers, and I don't mind it, okay? I mean, I live for the drama, but it's such a dig at TikTokers because what he's saying is, you guys will never be able to cultivate, and he does say in there, eventually they'll be able to do this, but basically what he's saying is, you guys will never be able to cultivate the audience that we have. They already have with the numbers, you know, but you'll never be able to cultivate the long-standing, trustworthy audience that we have because we have really built over time an audience that knows us, that trusts us, that knows our story and loves us. And honest to God, it's really truly the only reason that Jaclyn Hill can stand on her feet today and sell products, because to this day, she still has this audience that is so indebted in her and so loves her and has stood by her and listened to her story and followed her along for all these years. And it is true. It is true that these YouTubers have built an audience and built a rapport with their audience that is very difficult to do on TikTok. You scroll by these people, you follow them for 2 minutes, or you watch, you know, a bunch of their TikToks and you like what they have to say, but you don't really know a lot about them. In fact, I have to say, of all the beauty influencer TikTok people that I have watched, Mikayla is one of the only people, and I don't know if this is manipulative or this is like a business plan of hers or whatever, but she's one of the only people that kind of pulls people in and talks about her life, even like with her fiance and things like that, to kind of pull them into the story of Mikayla. So to some degree, it seems like she kind of knows what she's doing as far as building that audience that's going to continue to support her. And that's why on her TikToks, she gets all these comments when she comes back and doesn't respond to all of these scandals and things, and people are like, yes, unbothered queen and all this kind of stuff. That's why she has that support. It's the same support that Jaclyn has, because she has this audience of people that are just like, undying faith and love for Mikayla because she's brought him into the story. She's brought him into, I was working in Ulta, I was really struggling financially, I was right out of college, I thought I'd try to make it on TikTok, and now here I am today. And people love an American dream. They do. People love that, right? So I don't know. I don't know if it was in Manny's best interest to come for the TikTokers. I think it's just going to further distance himself from that. He seems very bitter to me in these. He seems almost kind of like jealous that he's not getting the views on TikTok and he's not getting the views on YouTube anymore. My advice to Manny would be, do something to reinvent yourself. You know, he and Laura did the Full Coverage podcast, and I think it's fantastic, you know, even though they say things on there every once in a while that I'm kind of like side-eyeing, and I'm like, did you really just say that? But I think that that's a move in the right direction of doing something. He did a Surreal Life last year, which I watched, and I absolutely loved. It was a great season. I watched the whole thing. You know, I mean, I think for Manny to kind of at this point figure out, like, maybe, you know, and not leave YouTube, you know, I think that's everybody's MO. It's like, I'm going to leave YouTube. The views aren't on YouTube anymore. The views are going to come back to YouTube, you guys. They just are. YouTube's been around long enough. People are going to come back to YouTube. TikTokers at this point are already trying to build their platforms on YouTube. And this is what they tell me when I talk to TikTokers. Other than sponsorships, we don't make any money on TikTok. Money is, the AdSense money on YouTube is where it's at. So they want that money. So they're trying to build their platforms on YouTube, and they're just not able to do it very easily. So like I said, the pendulum is going to switch back the other way. Do I think people will stop watching TikTok completely? No, I don't. But I do think that this whole OG mentality of people sitting down and watching 20 to 30 minute get readies with me, I think once the economy is starting to get a little bit better, and I think people are back again, you know, watching these makeup videos and stuff, yes, I think people will be reinvested in these people. I do. I really do, you know? So I don't know if I thought it was smart that Manny came out and poked the bear, but let me know what you think in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.